Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Fazone, principal of the SIPEC Center. I'm here with Gary Mattia. He is principal of the Assunpink Center. And we have our producer and director, Nick Sikowski. We welcome you. Once again, you are in the principal's office. Mr. Mattia is going to introduce our special guests for today. And I think you're going to find our show today very informative. Mr. Mattia.
Yeah, helping us out, going over our orientation for new students is Mr. Mick Orff and also Mr. Dave Nash. They'll be explaining some of the things about orientation and new students, and I'm going to leave it to them because they are the experts. Gentlemen?
That's very kind, and thank you for the introduction. We're going to lay out for you how exactly orientation is going to work this year, but I just wanted to hear some thoughts of my friend, Mr. Dave Nash, who has seen 20 to 25 orientations, first days of school in our district as a teacher, as well as a coordinator and a CIE coordinator. Go ahead, Mr. Nash. Thank you.
So welcome, everybody. Come along for the ride. If you're a student sitting here going, oh my gosh, why do I have to sit here? I totally connect with you. And I felt the same way when I went to the school. I graduated from the school 30 years ago, which that's my story. And let's talk about yours. It's natural to wonder what it's going to be like when you come to the Assunpink Center, the SIPEC Center. All I can tell you is you made the best decision of your life in your high school career, not because I'm telling you, but because I guarantee that you'll see me on campus, the principals, Mr. Orff, and all the other instructors. Probably around October, you're going to say, hey, can I stay here all day if I'm a share time student? And if I'm a full-time student, you're going to say, man, I love it here. I'll see you at lunch. So how's the orientation going to go? What's your first day like? The great thing about these orientations is you're going to get to meet your instructor, sometimes see the shop, and definitely on the first day, you're going to get to see the shop and experience the instructor and see other students that are hardwired just like you. I always say we're an X-Men Academy, per se, in terms of people's gifts and talents. And we congregate together from the Mercer County sending schools and districts. So if you're an 8th grader coming to an academy, you're going to love it. And if you're a share time student and you've been through your 9th and 10th grades thinking, I really haven't found my niche on what I'm interested in terms of school for real. Like you do school, but you're not passionate. You're going to get passionate here.
Outstanding. And I couldn't agree more, Dave. The orientation itself is going to be lovely in its simplicity, because a lot of times parents can't come to these things. People are working, there's transportation. So inevitably for days and days afterwards, this year's orientation is going to be virtual. Okay. Inevitably for days and even weeks afterwards, we'd get lots of calls and emails. I missed the orientation. What did I miss? This is all going to be right at everybody's fingertips for a long time afterwards. All right. On our website will be a tab that says orientation. This goes live June 8th. June 8th is the day that this will be available to everyone. And each student will be able to find their particular program on the website, hit that little drop down, that button. If I use Nick MacGyver Sikowski's technical terminology, there'll be a button with your particular class. There'll be a welcoming address from some of our school leaders saying hello, you've made a good choice. And once you find your program, let's say you're in the diesel program, for example, you're going to find that, you're going to see, you're going to meet your teacher that way and get information about the program from your teacher. Uniform requirements, how the grading system works, where you go, class rules, all of those different things, as well as a little bit of snippets about what you're going to learn and what you can expect going forward. Each class will have that. Same for the academy programs. Each of those academy programs will have one drop down for each teacher within the academy and how their class runs. And on top of all that, other personnel, other student support personnel, like your guidance counselors and your psychologists. There'll be information from everybody. So you'll really get to meet the entire team of your building, whether it's SIPEC or Assunpink, regardless of what program you're in.
Awesome. Well, that's a lot to digest and drink in here, but it really is, it flows well. It's the second year we've done this. We've just received good news as of yesterday, depending on whenever you watch this. We just received word that, in fact, we are 100% in person starting September, which is stellar. Yes, exactly. Because we, like you, really enjoy what we do. And whether it's the principals, Mr. Orff, or myself, I'm the co-op internship coordinator, as well as the OSHA instructor, as well as a person that's just on campus to help students activate and empower them, whether it's helping them fill out working papers, a job interview, taking a look at their resume. I want to share all this so as you see me, you're like, oh, you're the job guy. Yes, I'm the job guy, and I'm here to help you get off Teenage Island, as I like to say. Not because being a kid isn't something you get to revel in and enjoy, but let's face it, you want to get away from your parents and get your own adult life. That's living, and unless you like having your parents tell you what to do, which I can guarantee that that's not the case. So that's who I am. I'm in your corner. Myself and everybody here has helped hundreds, if not thousands, of students, come through our family, our team, and we're excited to do that. Even with the start of this orientation, so it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr.
All right,
Vizzone,
so, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dr. Vizzone and Mr. Mattia, we had our own first day, remember, on April 19th when all those students came back, and we had a ton of kids who had never been to the campus before. I know sometimes there's a concern, well, how am I going to know where to go? I haven't been in that classroom. That is all taken care of in a matter of seconds as soon as you get off the bus. We had teams of teachers and staff waiting to direct the students where to go. And I would say within 1 second of walking through the door of those classes, the kids were in the groove and back. And that goes for our Academy first-year students who came in, as well as first-year shared time kids coming in. It really, really flowed nicely. And the first day of school next year is going to look a lot like that.
Everything went very smooth. You're absolutely right, Mr. Orff. Surprisingly, the students that were in their first year, first time in our buildings, I think they adapted beautifully. And the things that you guys have set up for them make it very, very easy. I'm excited. And when was that date again, gentlemen, that it's going to start?
June 8th is the
June 8th.
orientation. And you just shout out to our teachers too. They made coming back on April 19th work beautifully. They're going to make this orientation work well, and we can't wait to be back together all under the same roof. First day of school.
All right, so Mr. Mattia, you think we covered everything?
I think so. I tell you, I'm excited for June 8th. I'm excited because the kids are going back to school full time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what it's all about. So yeah, I think we've covered everything, Dr. Vizzone.
All right, so we'll wrap it up. I liked Mr. Nash's analogy in the beginning when we said we're an X-Men Academy. And so they may say, well, what's my superpower? Well, your superpower is the craft you chose. It's the academy that you chose. I think of all of us here at Mercer County Technical School as your Professor X. We're going to help you hone those powers and those skills. It's a great place to come to school. So for all of us here at the principal's office, for Mr. Mattia, for Mr. Sikowski, I'm Dr. Jim Vizzone. I want to thank our special guests, Mr. Orff and Mr. Nash. We will see you next week in the principal's office, and we will see you on campus. Bye-bye.